Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Matters That Matter. I'm Simran, and I'm in a conversation with my mentor, Susie Singh. So, we lost a very young, promising star 2 days ago to suicide. And since then, there has been a lot of conjecture, there has been a lot of talk about mental health and about why he did what he did. People are desperately trying to search for answers and comfort themselves with a satisfying answer. Susie, some people are saying that Sushant was weak because he was not able to handle or deal with his problems. What are your views on this?
So, Simran, I think that there is a big error in the collective consciousness when we talk about mental strength, and that really needs to be addressed now, and we need to correct this. For far too long, mental strength has been immortalized to falsely mean mental toughness. And that in turn has somehow got associated with symbols of masculinity, willpower, confidence, pride, and all of those things. Keeping your head up, not giving in, not surrendering, so to say. And unfortunately, what this does is it makes the act of seeking help extremely shameful, preventing people from actually reaching out, because that is seen to be a weakness, which is completely an error of belief. Asking for help is a sign of an emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent, and a confident being. Now, if people are not going to ask for help, they're going to suffer alone. And if we understand how the brain works, we are going to spiral into something which will lead us into isolation and eventually a psychosis of kind, which is what this star actually suffered from. Now, people say that he was mentally weak and couldn't deal with his problems. And what I would like to propose is that maybe Sushant was trying to be so strong because he too believed all of those things that I've just spoken about, that it's a symbol of masculinity, not receiving help, doing it on his own, trying to be strong and brave and, go with all his burdens on his shoulder and in his heart alone. And that is what eventually caused him to do what he did, because there is only that much that any human can do alone, or only that much pain a person can bear alone. So I think if there is one message that I'd like to send out very clearly to our viewers today, is that emotional strength lies in asking for help and receiving help. So very important that we correct this misconception and we understand there is no shame, there is no weakness in seeking help when you're low and when you're alone. When we don't know how to do something, we go and ask other people, how can I do this? Right? So if we can ask those questions when it comes to other areas of our life, our work, our culture, learning new things, why not this? Not everybody is a specialist. Every surgeon can't do surgery upon himself. So why is it so wrong for that surgeon to go to someone else? You may be an expert or skilled in one field, but doesn't mean that you have to be skilled in every single field. So if you are bleeding and if you're wounded emotionally, if you're hurt, if you're upset, there is no harm in asking someone to clean up your wound or to bandage it for you. There are so many children I know who are emotionally aware, they're sensitive. They even go and tell their parents that, listen, I am struggling. Can you please take me to a psychiatrist, or can you take me to a mental health specialist, or to someone who can help me solve these problems? And the parents will say, trivialize their problem and say, be strong, deal with it. This deal with it yourself is the harshest thing that anyone can say to a loved one. I think if any one of us is encountering anybody in our immediate environments who seems to be struggling, or who reaches out or comes to us and wants to talk, and who actually expresses these words, who's actually showing that they are in a in a state of panic, or they're confused, or they're really suffering, or they're woeful, I think it's very important for us to immediately put them in touch with someone else, because not everybody is equipped to handle these kind of issues. Not everybody can provide that safe space. Sometimes we may say something which we think should be supporting them, but actually it can trigger them off and make it worse for them.
Yeah.
So let us all understand this one thing. It takes immense strength to reach out and seek help. So can we all clear this misconception around mental strength and mental weakness, and clearly understand once and for all, it takes immense mental strength to ask for help. So let's all do it.
Susie, like you pointed out, that it's a display of strength if you reach out and ask for help. But a lot of times for people who are dealing with mental health issues, or who are sad a lot, or even who experience the so-called negative emotions, they feel very ashamed of the fact that they encounter these negative thoughts or feelings in the first place. And that feeling of shame makes it very difficult for them to reach out and makes them hide. Also because they fear judgment, but they also judge themselves in the first place. So are we weak, or is there something wrong with us if we are encountering a lot of negative feelings or thoughts?
Not at all. Every human encounters negative feelings. That's the way life is designed. The question is how we deal with them determines how strong we are being. So if we are able to overcome them by, let's say we're feeling some shame, and we decide to acknowledge the shame and say, I know this feels terrible, and yet I'm choosing to not hide. I'm choosing to speak to somebody. That is doing something really useful with a very difficult feeling. So instead of right and wrong, strength and weakness, I like to assign the terms harmful and useful, because I think the problem is that these polarized terms are the ones that have created the problem. Because the minute I say I'm being weak, I have already judged myself, and I'm going to make my condition worse. So I'm going to urge people, we should just delete these words from our personal dictionaries, this strong and weak and this right and wrong. The only question we need to ask ourselves is, I'm feeling shameful, I'm feeling terrible. My natural urge is wanting to hide, but what is the useful thing to do? And what is the harmful thing to do? If I keep hiding, is it going to help me? Or if I reach out to someone, is that going to help me? And let's all do the helpful thing, not the harmful thing. So I think in our own heads, we need to, this is the collective error that I'm talking about. We need to change the way we perceive right and wrong, strength and weakness. Let us simply substitute those terms with the two that I have suggested, which is what's helpful, what's harmful, and go with those.
So this is a corrective error in our beliefs that reaching out or talking about your problems is a sign of weakness, and hiding them and pretending to be strong seems to be the false understanding of strength. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.